Trail Seeker Adventures heads to round 5 of the SXCS Cross Country in Westernport, Maryland, where they had something for everyone. This was a full weekend of activities from the 8-hour race, the slow race, trail riding, but the main event was on Sunday. That was race day, where I got to race both my 2-stroke and my 4-stroke. And yes, we had drama in the woods, which of course I made mistakes, which led into some duct tape and JB Weld to get to the finish. Come along and check it out. That's right, we're in Westernport, Maryland at the WASSEL Works Cross Country SXCS Round 5. What a beautiful piece of property we got to come and visit. This is part 2. Part 1 was this 8-hour challenge. That was on Friday to Saturday morning, and now it is Saturday. And Saturday they had a trail ride, but they also had the slow race. But they started out with a strider race for the young ones. They had classes for just about everybody. A fun time was had by both the riders and the spectators. Earlier on Saturday, we got our plaques and awards from our 8-hour challenge. The 8-hour challenge was from 6 in the evening till 2 in the morning. And now the kids, the youth riders, was able to come out and bring their bikes and see how slow they could go. Then it was the ladies' turn to see how slow they can go. They had a good field of ladies, had several different techniques. Heidi was trying the no feet on pegs technique. She's doing pretty good. She had stiff competition with Nancy. Nancy had great balance on this day. And the turn got Heidi. Nancy was able to go home with the win. And the last race of the evening was the men's. Looks like everything goes, as long as you don't touch the ground. You was allowed to take each other out, which sometimes worked and sometimes didn't. Dave Redmond was hard to beat. Not only can he go fast, but obviously he can go slow. Billy got out front, away from all the drama. Dan stopped, but he thought he would leave a roadblock for the rest of the riders. Man down. Dan was in the middle of the way, but it wasn't going to stop Billy getting to the checkered, but unfortunately he did it just a little bit too fast. Dave Redmond won for the men's. A fun time was had by everyone, but that's what the SXCS is all about. And now, at the end of the day, we was able to hook up with family and friends and watch some awesome fireworks. Yes, this was 4th of July weekend, and what a weekend it was. It's time to rest up and get ready for the cross-country race the next day. They have 2 adult races. That is after the youth has wrapped up their race for the day. They had classes for every age of youth, but now it's adult time. I get to race my 2-stroke on the morning race and the open class. All the rest of the classes in the morning race is either C classes or the vintage class. This is a 1.5-hour race. It's time to get the blood pumping and the throttle twisting. And we're off. I'm on my 2020 Beta 300 RR. As you can see, this was when I was having problems with my camera angle. I have got that taken care of. The engineers at the Trail Seeker Adventure camp have came up with a well executed design. It's basically a piece of foam that goes in behind the camera, as you can see here, and that has helped a lot. Now, as I was saying, this is part 2. Part 1 was the 8-hour challenge, which was on Friday. That was from 6 in the evening Friday to 2 in the morning on Saturday. But I did get that video out. I was a little slow getting this video out. This was 4th of July weekend. I had a lot of activities going on. The following week we did have, the following race was round 6, which was a sprint cross. That was a mixture of both the SXCS as well as the US Sprint Enduro. I went ahead and got that video out, and this one's a little bit behind. My son got married. We took a week off for vacation, but on the SXCS I had the new improved chest mount with the phase 2 edition with the foam pad and it worked out well. So check out the SXCS combined with the round 6 US Sprint Enduro and see how well that works. I hope that's helpful for somebody. But for now, we are in the morning race at the SXCS Cross Country round 5. I jumped out with the whole shot, and so far physically I am in the overall. I got Wayne Skidmore, a local racer that I've raced many times with, hot on my trail. I have a little bit of advantage because we ran this exact part of the course on the 8-hour challenge, so I kind of knew what was coming up. Wayne is a fast rider. I know I had no room for error, but just a little background story or a little additional story to this weekend. We also had the Maryland State Championship, and that is a 3-race championship. It's a national championship, but there's no room for error, and you have to run all 3 disciplines that the SXCS has to offer. We have already done the GP. I had won with the GP, and now this is the cross country. I'm running the open class. I am not, that is not eligible for the Maryland State Championship. I will be running the 40A class with the next afternoon race, which is a 2-hour race. That is where the A, the B, and the pro riders, they get to come out and tackle an extended version of this course. The SXCS crew has came out and shortened, took some of the nasty stuff, which included Hell's Kitchen. That was a pretty tough little section they took out. Heidi is also racing this race. She's running the 40 plus women's class. She is leading in the SXCS 40 plus as well as the Maryland State Championship. So this does count for her because she is actually in her class. So we ran into the woods. As you can see, this is a very rocky course. I'm on my 2-stroke. I was planning on running this 2-stroke for the afternoon race as well. I ran it for the 8-hour race. The rear shock, I'm still having problems trying to get it settled. So I came out and ran. I was going to run just a few laps to get it to see how it was feeling. But whenever you're running the overall, no matter how tired from the 8-hour race, I did get out and do a little bit of practice day. Just I brought the 430 beta out into the woods just to, because I've never had this type of rocky terrain to try to set it up. So I did go out and do a few little laps on the practice course. Really was tired, didn't feel like putting much time on the bike. but I really wasn't planning on even racing it. But as you'll find out here in a little bit, I did end up having to race it. As you can see, the helmet got jacked up. Looking at my nose hole. Basically what happened is the bike started shutting off. As you can tell, Wayne got around me right there for physical second overall. I'm not sure how we're going as far as the actual overall.
Okay?
We got some young kids in the class. He goes down right there. There's some slick roots as soon as you come out of the field. They eventually blocked that off. Talked to him after the race. He hurt his hip a little bit. Said he might have knocked himself a little goofy. But I got back around him. So the bike's starting to shut off again. I having issues with this bike since the golf course round. The USCS US Sprint Enduro. It started shutting off for no reason. It will shut off. You can drift it all the way to the bottom of the hill. It will not fire back up. But if you stop, let the motor set for a second, push start, and fire right up. It did it 2 or 3 times on this race. But that's not the only issue I have during this race. I'm catching Heidi. There's Heidi. She's running around trying to make her laps. The goal was when I would lap her, if she'd give me thumbs up, she's good. And then that way I know I can just go back and relax for round 2, which is the afternoon race. I stopped just to make sure. I didn't see her give me thumbs up. She gave me thumbs up there, telling me she's having no problems. So it's time to get rolling. Still in the physical overall lead. I am in the lead of the Open A class. We're on our second lap. This is the little hill climb. We had a couple different options here. Coming up out of the woods and into the field section. The SXCS crew. Right here I hit something. And I come to find out it's a root stuck up on the side of the main trail. And I hit that thing bottom. I thought for sure I put a chunk in my rim, and from here on out I'm like, I got a flat tire. I'm slowing down. You'll see I'm starting to look down at the tire, and crap, I got a flat tire. So at this point I really wasn't planning on running the entire race anyways. I need to save my strength for the SXCS Cross Country portion of the Maryland State Championship, as well as the SXCS Series. That's more important. This race is just for fun. So I'm thinking, okay, I got a flat front tire. The bike's shutting off. Usually not a real big issue, but I was at the John Penton and raced this thing, and it was shutting off. And eventually, it quit starting. It ran the battery completely dead. I think that might have been a battery issue. I think that's separate from it shutting off. But I'm like, alright, I don't want to get in Wayne's way. I'm going to, as soon as he catches me, I'm going to move to the side, let him go, and that's where this is. I come over here and coming. Let him go. So now I'm just out for a joyride. Trying not to dent my front rim because this is very, very rocky. Just taking her easy through the rocks. If anybody ran with a flat tire, they know how not fun it is. So I'm coming through the field. I had some friends up here. I want to let them know I'm pulling off.
Flat front.
Got a flat tire. Cried to him.
Flat front.
Another few friends. Got a flat tire. Thought I'd show a little video of some of the awesome vintage bikes out there. I got to follow them a good bit on this lap. But I did eventually make it to the finish. I believe that was going to be starting my 3rd lap. Just taking her easy coming in. I'm on the open class. They do the open, let them know I'm done. They do the open class and the morning class. That way you can do the Ironman. If you run both the morning race and the afternoon race, you have an opportunity to win the Ironman. The best result of both the morning and the afternoon race will become the afternoon race, or the overall Ironman. Come in, I checked the tire and it's fine. It is funny how the mind will play tricks on you. I did go back out and try to find Heidi, and I was going to follow her for a little bit, but never did find her. Just came back. I had to change my race tires over to the 430, and now of course the 430 does not get a very good start. This is the afternoon race. I am in about row 4 to 5 in the 48 class.
Good luck, everybody.
The 2-stroke starts up super fast. The 4-stroke, not so much. Pretty much dead last, other than that gentleman that's laying in the middle of the track. He doesn't lay there very long, obviously, because he ends up passing me for the lead. Not to give any spoiler, but it's a dusty day here in the field. I get a bad start, but patience is everything in cross country. I got 2 hours in order to work my way to the front. There was a chance of rain, as you can tell, as far as the clouds. But what a awesome weekend of racing. This is what Trail Seeker Adventure is all about. We bring you to the races. We bring our camera. We show you what every race event and all the rod parks that we go to. We've been to Hatfield McCoy's. We've been to Croom Motorcycle Park. We've been to the indoor MX course up in Butler, Pennsylvania. But we go to a lot of race events, whether it's New East Coast. We've been to GNCC, US Sprint Enduro, SXCS, Mountain State Hare Scramble. We go and show you what those events are all about. That way you know what it is before you even get off the couch and load your bike. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. We are doing pretty good on the watch time. It's off the charts, but if I could speak correctly, maybe I would get some subscribers. But we are Trail Seeker Adventures, and we're doing the best we can. Let us know, give us any tips or something that you would rather watch, as far as maybe, or not so much rather watch, but might be more helpful. I'm thinking about doing some videos as far as the bike that we're on, do some reviews on those in case you're interested in a beta, what it's like. So as you can see, we are catching up with some of the course, or some of the classes from the rows ahead of us. I'm not sure exactly where I am right now in my class. I'm thinking I'm about 2nd or 3rd. This part of the track you've seen with the morning race. I believe this gentleman is in our class. That's one thing the SXCS don't do. They don't put the sticker collars on the back of your helmets. You just got right there is where we went to the right with the morning class. So everything from here on out is new for the afternoon race. Now we did run this for the 8-hour challenge. If you ever wanted to challenge yourself, make sure you watch the 8-hour challenge. That way we show you what it's all about, what classes there is. You can do an Ironman, which you do all 8 hours by yourself, or you can do a duo where you split it up in half, or you can do a group. I think that's a group of 4, but we'll have to watch the video to make sure. When we come down here, this gentleman is in my class. I do remember that. But the goal for the day, this is the cross country. This is my favorite discipline that the SXCS puts on. My second would probably be the GP. We have videos from the GP, from the SXCS. The GP is where you do 2 motos, 30-minute motos through the woods. They're usually a less technical, shorter course. I think they're usually about a 2.5 mile, and I think you usually get about 4 laps in 30 minutes. But the good thing about that, you can do different classes. Like usually on the GP, I'll run the 40A and the 50A because I am an old man. But that would be my second choice. And then they have the Sprint Enduro. The Sprint Enduro, you have 2 separate courses. You have a mostly field turn track, which is the cross test, and then you have the woods course, which is called the Enduro, and you do those 3 times a day on each course. So you'd go do a cross test, an Enduro test, a cross test, Enduro test, and a cross test, and Enduro test. Okay, so here's the little uphill. This is coming into Hell's Kitchen. Yep, I said Hell's Kitchen. You had the hard hill or the easy. The hard hill wasn't that hard. It was just you couldn't get a great run. Now you've seen right there, that is somebody in my class, and this is going to come up later in this race. When do you let somebody that's faster behind you around? Now for me, I usually, there's Cindy and Jay rooting me on. They always do. Good friends. I usually have to let somebody qualify before I just let somebody around, and I usually try to find a good place to where it's safe for both of us. So if somebody comes up on me after I lay the bike down, I'm not just going to let you around. So what I'll do is, if you stay back here for a while, and if you like let me know that, hey, I'm faster than you, I need to get around you. If within a few turns I don't lose you, I'm going to find a safe spot, pull over, and well, not pull over, I'm going to slow down and let you go. And the second thing on that is, how do you let somebody go around? Basically, you just stay in your lane. Right here you had an option, you can go straight across a tree jump or tree crossing. There's like 3-4 trees. I went through there at the 8-hour race, but Mr. AW snuck a big tree in the middle of it to make it a little bit slower, and I didn't like the looks of it. So I avoided it other than one time, and I shouldn't have went that time. Got stuck on the last tree, kind of embarrassed myself. But usually if you're getting ready to be passed or lapped or whatever, don't switch lanes. Don't stop in the middle of the track. That is more dangerous than anything. Just make sure you just find a good lane. Some of the people that I see, they'll point at the, say they're in a right rut and there's a left rut. They'll point at the left rut where they want you to go. Here we're coming back up that hill climb again. That's the best way to do it. Now here at the SXCS, they don't race 4-wheelers. It's a bike only event. As we come in, starting our second lap, I made myself to the lead. I'm first in my class. Who knows what in the overall. Taking off. The bike was not feeling the best. This is mile 5 on the second lap. I'm very slow through here. The 430 was not feeling good in the loose rocks. I'm just basically wanting to get through. And you see this gentleman up here in front of me? We're going to see a little bit with him for the next few miles. But as I was saying, I'm going pretty slow right now. This is the section of the woods that I was not going very well. And right there goes Justin Riddle. If you remember, he went down in the first turn, so he's gathered it back up and looking pretty good. So now I'm second. Got through the worst part of the rocks, which was right after mile 5. If anybody raced this race, they know where mile marker 5 is, because after that it got pretty nasty. I'm starting to feel a little better through this section. Then we'll come in a couple other sections that's pretty rocky. I'm basically just trying to get through it. I should have spent more time on the 430 trying to get a feel good through these rocks, but it was deflecting all over the place. He gets around this gentleman pretty easily. I almost got around him, but he decides he doesn't want to let me go. And as you can see, it's pretty one lane. Everywhere there was an option to go somewhere else, I tried it. Like right here, I thought I'd come down around here and get around him. But he knows I'm there. I'm not in his class. And he's keeping a pretty good pace. At what point do you start yelling? Well, I'm not really the guy that yells. I'll yell to let you know I'm there, like if I'm getting ready to pass, so you'll know which direction I'm coming from. But that's my question for you guys. Make sure you leave a comment in the comments area. Do you have a suggestion as far as, I would like to know if you think I'm in the wrong here. I'm not pressuring him, yelling at him, cussing him. I'm not that type of guy. Or maybe I might be cussing underneath my breath. But at what point do you start getting rude? I might ask. And I have gotten rude. I've gotten mad before and probably said things I shouldn't. But I'm trying to keep in consideration, you know, it's very tight through here. It's very one line. We're starting to lap other riders. I don't want to mess his race up. I'm trying all the lines I can, but he's taking the fastest line. Now this gentleman here, he does it right. Watch him. He knows I'm still behind him, and he just takes a line. I thought he was the one that pointed the direction he wanted me to go, but he held up just a second. I didn't waste none of his time, and he never wasted none of my time. Now I've had friends, and I've seen people take people out doing this. This is not safe. We're out here racing our dirt bikes through the woods, buzzing past trees. The last thing we need is to try to take each other out in order to get around somebody that's not even in my class. So that was back on mile marker 5 that I first caught this young man. This is a 7.5 mile course. Basically, whenever I would catch up with him or get close to him or be in an area that I thought that I could get around, or he could just hold up 2 seconds. That's all I need of his time, is 2 seconds in one particular area. Like right there, he could have moved over just a little bit and let me around, but not sure what he's thinking. I don't know if he thinks I'm in his class. Now also, you got to consider, if this was the last lap, I would not blame him at all. There's times, you know, when I think somebody's behind me early on in the race, even if I know they're in my class, I'll let them go around just to see who it is. And if I'm fast enough, I'll pass them back. I'll get them back. But if it's the last lap, especially the last few miles of the lap, if you're pressuring me, whether you are or not in my class, I am not going to make it easy. because there's been times when I've slowed over, pulled over. I've done it both on the four-wheelers. I race four-wheelers also, but on a four-wheeler and a dirt bike, I pulled over to let somebody around, and somebody in my class followed the gentleman around on the last few turns of the track, and you lose a position that way. This was pretty tough little uphill too. It was the hill wasn't that steep. It was just very rocky at the bottom of it. But as I was saying, I'm running the 40A class. I am now in second. I've gotten through the spot that I struggled with the entire day on this bike. Now it's time for me to try to make up some time. I've lost sight of first because I can't get around this gentleman safely. Holding my patience. I'm thinking once I get out here in the field, he's going to know I'm still on him. He'll pull over to the right or left just enough to let me get around, and all is good. I am in the 40A class. I gotta play it smart because this is round 2 of the Maryland State Championship, and we have no throwaways. You can be faster than everybody involved in this championship. We have Jeff Flynn. He's second at this point of the day, and Roman Kilgore, he's third. They're both racing this day. I'm in front of them at this point, but I can't do nothing stupid to jeopardize. If I don't finish this race, most likely I can throw the Maryland State Championship away. And that is a AMA National Championship. And that's, you don't get an AMA #1 National AMA plate too often. So okay, he's ripping out through here. I thought, okay, I'll get around here. He would just hold up just a second, I could get around him. I've been bugging him for about 2.5 miles. He knows I'm right there. I try to take the inside. I come in here and I thought for sure he brake checked me, but I revved up the bike to let him know, hey, when we get through the finish line, can you just give me a man a break? Not trying to be rude to him or nothing. I just want to let him know I'm there. I'm faster than you. But I thought for sure he slammed on the brakes, but looking at the video, maybe he didn't. Maybe he just slowed up. But I guess he said a few cool chosen words, calling some nasty names. But anyways, about 1.5 miles or so, I caught back up with him. And now, you know, normally, you know, there's people like, all right, buddy, if that's the way you want to play this game. I've had friends that got it done to them, and I've had friends that taken people out for less than that. I'm not saying it's right, but there's people out there that will do that. And this gentleman, if he continues racing this way, I have a bad feeling that's going to happen. But just leave a comment. I'm about done balling about this whole situation, but I just was curious to see what you all felt about being passed. How do you pass? Usually when I pass somebody, I'll say, hey, 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 or to the left, or stay, stay. So here he goes wide. I get low and come to the inside, and right there I very easily could have took his front wheel out, put him on the ground, but that's just not the way I am. But that situation is over. This is on the 3rd lap. I am still second. I have no idea how far first has gotten away from me with that whole scenario of events. And I'm sure you're all going to leave a comment, let me know that maybe I'm a butthead, maybe I had a guy one time say, you need to earn your passes. And in my class, I agree. But whenever you're passing somebody or you're lapping somebody, I don't find that it's wrong to let somebody know, do a pass call. Okay, so as you can see, my helmet's jacked up. I caught the guy. This is actually on my 4th lap, I believe. caught Justin. I've raced Justin a few times. He got down in some rocks. If you could see anything other than my nose hole and my flat, fat, flabby lip, maybe you could see that it's pretty rocky through there. But once I got around him, I went not too far, maybe 1.5 miles, 2 miles, and I hit that tree, knocked me over into another tree. He makes sure I'm okay. That's one thing. Most people are pretty courteous out here in the woods. Course Marshal Jason came up, asked if I was okay. Unfortunately, I had a big hole in the side of my clutch cover. The oil was just dumping out of it. You say, why are you picking your bike up? You got a hole in the side of your motor. Why are you trying to continue racing? I'm not. Basically, this bike has a separate motor as far as the transmission and engine. The engine has one motor oil, and then it has a gear oil for your gear. I was about 1 mile from my pits. I came out, got off at the field, came back. I thought I could take the clutch cover off of my 2-stroke. It's different, not the same. So what do? I wipe it off real good. As you can see, the hole is too big just to run some JB weld in. It just fall in there. So I basically put a little layer of duct tape over it as Heidi has her hands on her hips and thinking when I'm done. But no, this is the Maryland State Championship. This is SXCS. I basically throw some duct tape on, mix up some JB weld, slap it across there. The motor's hot. Took no time at all to dry, and surprisingly enough, it held. I was able to get back out and finish 4th for the day. Not the best, but better than nothing. Justin was 1st, Daniel got 2nd, Jeff Flynn, which was in the Maryland State Championship, got 3rd, and I've got 4th. At the end of the day, I still had a 2 points lead in the Maryland State Championship, and I had to make sure I didn't screw up nothing on round 3, which was the SXCS US Sprint Enduro at the same property. I've already got a video out on that. Make sure you check it out. But I was able to work my way to the finish. Heidi was able to finish 3rd, but she's 1st in the Maryland State Championship. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. You can do that by pushing the logo here in the middle of the screen where it says subscribe, or watch our next video. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next one.